from prison to the future and prosperity. I want you to know early on, there were many of us who said that we need not invest in businesses that did business with apartheid in South Africa. So in the early 80s, we carried bills to take our monies, our retirement funds, away from those businesses. And then I organized a group, and we tried to go to South Africa, and they told us that we would have to be honorary whites. That did not work for us. But in 1990, we were able to go, and we were taken through Robben Island. And we know the pain, the indignities that he and his supporters suffered. I went back to monitor the elections in 1994. And I can tell you this, the 2 weeks we were there, and I myself was posted in 3 election sites, and the people walked for days. And it might have been a woman who put the spread over her bed and washed it, or grabbed a sweater that was unraveled, it was clean. And they walked without a place to go to relieve themselves, without fast foods along the way. But they walked towards freedom and liberation. And I stood there and cried the whole time to see such dignity among people, and I knew what it was all about. Of course, I knew it in my soul and my being, because I'm a descendant of the continent. So I want you to know what this really means for all of us, for the world, to celebrate 90 years of a man who showed his strength, his courage, his dedication, his dignity for all of the rest of the world to model after. And I'm proud to say we were just recently in Great Britain when they had that massive celebration in Hyde Park to honor him. It was led by Quincy Jones, by the way. And Quincy said, come, but when we got there, the crowd was too thick for us to penetrate. But we were on the site to celebrate a life that will last to the future as a man who really truly believed that he could lead his people to liberation. It leads the world. Happy birthday, Nelson.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I present to you the current ambassador for the country of South Africa, Ambassador Nahapa.
Thank you very much, Congressman Kirkpatrick, and all the members of the Congressional Black Caucus who are here, champions for the liberation of South Africa, continue to do a lot of good work in ensuring that our freedom continues to be meaningful, not only to ourselves, but to the rest of humanity. I am greatly honored to be part of this historic moment in which we can reflect on the life of a truly outstanding leader and an icon in the world, the former president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela. Let me first thank members of the Congressional Black Caucus for their support of President Mandela and the South African people in their quest for freedom over the years. President Mandela has requested me to convey his best wishes to the U.S. Congress and to the CBC. He is greatly honored by the continued support he is receiving from the U.S. Congress and from the Congressional Black Caucus. As you are aware, President Mandela has unselfishly dedicated his life towards freedom and the improvement of the quality of life for others. He embodies the true spirit of the South African nation, its values and ideals. There is no way that one cannot marvel at how spectacular his role has been in ensuring that South Africa could witness the change from an apartheid state to a truly democratic one. In his own words, and I would like to quote, "I have walked that long road to freedom I have tried not to falter. I have made missteps along the way, but I have discovered the secret that after climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. I've taken a moment here to rest, to steal a view of the glorious vista that surrounds me, to look back on the distance I have come. But I can only rest for a moment, for with freedom comes responsibilities. And I dare not linger, for my long walk is not ended. Those quotes. While South Africa has witnessed the birth of freedom in 1994, even at the age of 19 years, President Mandela continues to fight for the plight of his people and until today continues his long walk. Since stepping down as President of South Africa in 1999, he has dedicated much of his efforts towards social and humanitarian causes, which holds close to his heart, such as the battle against HIV and AIDS, and the plight of the children through the establishment of the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund. As another indication of the nature of President Mandela, this fund was established by him, and he contributed a third of his salary on a monthly basis towards this fund. Who could forget that when President Mandela announced his retirement to the media, he said, and I quote, "Don't call me, I will call you." It seems as if Mandela is making more calls today than ever before and continues efforts with the same energy, determination, and dedication as well. He commenced that long walk. His office has actually announced today, I'm not sure if he's aware of it and what his opinion will be, that this year alone he has had about 235 appointments, and that's somebody who's supposed to go to retirement. It just shows you what retirement means for him. We should not forget that not only do we celebrate the President Mandela's 90th birthday, but also his 10th anniversary, wedding anniversary to Graça Machel. I am sure that you join me in congratulating President Mandela and Graça Machel on this milestone and to wish them many more years of happiness together. As you are aware, for many years, visa restrictions were placed on President Mandela and other members of the ANC. The timing of the legislation which was adopted by Congress in order to remove these visa restrictions could not have come at a better time. It is therefore appropriate that we thank the U.S. Congress and members of the Congressional Black Caucus for their tireless efforts to resolve this issue prior to Mr. Mandela's 90th birthday. True to the commitment of Congress and the Congressional Black Caucus, House Resolution 1090 was passed and recognizes not only President Mandela's 90th birthday, but also his contribution to contemporary South Africa and the world at large. As ambassador, I dare not forget to mention that Congressman Payne and Congresswoman Barbara Lee celebrated their birthdays yesterday. And I'm sure, with his permission, I would like to say happy belated birthday.
And before we close, the sponsor of the legislation as well, Congressman William Jefferson has joined us. And please, Bill.
Madam Chair, Chairman Brewer, Chairman Payne, all the members who are here. Mr. Ambassador, please come over here, sir. I'll be very brief because the waterfront has been covered quite well. There's no point in my prolonging this today. I simply want to say to you how honored I was to have had a chance to work with Mr. Payne, with Mr. Berman, and the other members of our caucus to bring to the floor of the House a bill honoring the birthday of President Mandela. And I have here in my hand a copy of the remarks that were made before that day. I want to present to you, ask you to please pass it on to him and to his yes. And the remarks of all the members who spoke.